Shalom Yasharala, giving all praise and glory to the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. As always, I'm going to start with Colossians 3 and 17. And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all by SHAM, MASHAYACH, YAHAWASHI. Remember, I said SHAM, not Shem. Giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by SHAM, MASHAYACH, YAHAWASHI. You got to practice that. So you stop saying Shem, which is Yiddish for name. And Shem, S-H-E-M, is our forefather. You got Shem, Ham, and Japheth. But it's spelled the same way, But that's, Yiddish, Shem. But Shem, Yahawashi. No. But Sham, HaMashiach, Yahawashi. Sham. Look, I was moved. I gotta go into this because we need to hear this, because a lot of people, y'all come from a Christian background, I don't care if you're Israelite or not, and you still think in your wildest dreams that just because you're doing what you think is right, that the Most High love. He's love. He's all love. You still having that mind. You got to understand, and I'll be telling you, you got to fear the Most High. Ecclesiastes 12 and 13 says, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. First thing it says what? Fear the Most High. That's first. Fear the Most High. And fear means to be afraid, to be scared. And when you're afraid and you scared, you're going to give him the most respect. So I say fear the Most High. And do what? And keep his commandments. Well, this is the whole duty of man. So I want to look at Psalms 76 chapter. In verse 7, I'm going to bring this to you. It says, thou, this is the Most High. Even thou, that's the Most High, art to be feared. You hear that? You heard the conclusion of the whole matter. First thing it said, what? Fear the Most High. It says, thou, Most High, even thou, Most High, art to be feared, Most High. And who may stand in thy sight? Listen at this. Or you say the Most High is all love, and you don't believe you got to fear him, you got to be afraid or scared of him? Answer this question. I'll be asking y'all questions. Y'all don't be commenting about, y'all comment about everything, but answer this question. He said, and who may stand in thy sight? Who gonna stand before the Most High when once thou art angry? Who gonna stand in the sight of the Most High when once the Most High is angry? Since y'all think that he's all love, he's only love. I mean, that's why I say our people's minds been polluted. You can't say why. It's because if you get angry, what he gonna give you? Everything, bless you with everything you deserve when you stand before him. He's angry against you, against me, anyone. That's what it said. That's the question. Thou, Most High, even thou, Most High, are to be feared. To be feared. You better be afraid of him. Don't wait till he visits you. And who may stand in thy sight when once thou art angry? Can you? I know I don't want to stand before the Most High when he's angry. That's why you got to do what he say do. Thou didst cause judgment to be heard from heaven. Hear that? The earth feared. Listen, did you hear what it said? Thou didst cause judgment to be heard from heaven. Where? On this earth. And when the judgment from heaven was heard on the earth feared. You see that? The earth got afraid. The earth got scared. And was still. Sat still. Wasn't doing all that talking then. Wasn't going nowhere. But stood still. Better hear this. When the Most High rose to judgment to save all the meek of the earth. That's coming, y'all. And they stood still when they seen the Most High bringing his judgment on whoever was in captivity under. Because what he do? He used another nation to take them down and bring us into our land. Or we went from captivity to captivity. But you hear what he said? The earth stood still. Everybody got quiet. Because he gonna save the humble. Those that are humble in this earth. I mean, you opposite of being prideful, thinking you all that. Surely the wrath of man shall praise thee. The remainder of the remainder of wrath shall thou restrain. Vow and pay unto the Most High your power. Let all that be round about him bring presents unto him that ought to be feared. You hear that? What present we gonna bring to the Most High? But is that what King David said? Bring presents unto the Most High. The Most High that ought to be feared. Better hear what he's saying. He shall cut off the spirit of princes. He is terrible to the kings of the earth. You hear that? He said he gonna cut off the spirit of princes. He is terrible to the kings of the earth. Don't look at everything as peaches and cream. Hallelujah, as they say. And they ruling in this wicked world. He said, Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. That's why it says, he is terrible to the kings of the earth. And he set them up. He ruled in the kingdom of earth. He ruled in the kingdom of men. He set them up. But he told us this in Psalm 78:5. It says, for he established a testimony in Jacob and appointed a law in Israel. These laws that we have. Moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws, and sacrificial laws. But the sacrificial law was they stopped sacrificing animals for the atonement of our sins when the MASHAYACH died. Or why aren't they still sacrificing animals for the atonement of our sins? It stopped. For he established a testimony in Jacob and appointed a law in Israel, which he commanded our fathers that they should make them known to their children. So the fathers were supposed to let us know about the laws of the Most High. Moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws that we can follow now. Since being born in this earth now, MASHAYACH, you know, he died for the sins of the 12 tribes of Israel over 2,000 years ago. So we still have moral laws, civil laws, and dietary laws and ceremonial laws that we can follow. So this was what the Most High told the fathers to teach the children the laws of the Most High, that they may be known to their children, that the generation to come might know them, even the children which should be born, who should arise and declare them to their children from generation to generation, generation to generation. They're learning the laws, you know. Just like now, this great awakening of we as the Israelites, this is what everybody's saying, you know. They saying repent and keep the laws and the commandments of the Most High. The laws and the commandments are the same. But we're saying that. But I'm adding to that, as it says in Ecclesiastes 12:13. Let us hear the conclusions of the Most High, of the whole matter, right? Fear the Most High and keep his commandments. Fear the Most High first. You hear what he said? Psalm 76:7. Thou, that's the Most High. Even thou, that's the Most High, art to be feared. See, don't let nobody tell you that the Most High is just love. He is love. He's compassionate. He's long-suffering. And he's full of mercies and graces to the 12 tribes of Israel only. Because the other nations are not following his laws. He didn't give them their law, his laws. They don't have his laws. So therefore, they're not accountable to doing the things that we're supposed to do. But then that's why I said, learn not the way of the heathen. But our people have learned the way of the other nations. Therefore, they bring in their ways into their mindset to be able to think this is the right way when you really a heathen. And I got breakdown on them. Among the heathen and the Israelites are heathens. What's the difference? If you quack like a duck, you walk like a duck, you're a duck. If you're doing the same thing that the Gentiles do, you have the same mindset as the Gentiles do in their religions or whatever they believe in, philosophies and lies and all that, then you are them. They have programmed you to be them. That's why I got 105 different identities of who we are as a nation. I just listened at some footage when I was teaching in Skid Row, and it was 45 at that time. I got 105 different identities of us as a race. That's destroyed, for lack of knowledge, man. That's really, really destroyed. It's terrible. So, this is what he told us. In Psalm 78 and 6, he said that the generation to come might know them, even the children which should be born, who should arise and declare them to their children. Why? That they might set their hope, which is your faith, in the Most High, and not forget the works of the Most High. Now, how can you be able to remember the works of the Most High and not forget the works of the Most High if you don't know them and people don't talk about them? Most people don't talk about the Most High. Most people talk about their own worlds. I just listen. It's mainly about their own worlds. It would be beautiful if we could follow this and do this. It would be beautiful. But he's saying that they might set their hope in the Most High and not forget the works of the Most High, but keep his commandments. See that? Keep his commandments. That's what I'm telling you. The law, the commandments, the same. Keep his commandments, his orders, rules and regulations. It might not be as their fathers. How was the fathers? A stubborn and rebellious generation, a generation that set not their heart, which is their mind, the way they think are right, and whose spirit was not steadfast with the Most High. Wasn't steadfast with the Most High. Look at verse 10. They kept not the covenant, which is a contract, an agreement of the Most High that he had with us as the 12 tribes of Israel, and refused to walk in his law. You see, the commandments, law, it's the same thing. How is it now? They refuse to walk in his law. They're telling you not under the law. Whose laws are they? They the Most High's. He the one that wrote them with his finger, the work of the Most High, and gave them to us, the 12 tribes of Israel, and forgot his works and his wonders that he had showed them. So you got to understand this. If you think that you're not under the Most High's laws, you're not talking about his works. Matter of fact, most people don't have a conversation of the Most High in their brain at all. They talk about themselves or somebody else that's in their worlds. It ain't him. It ain't him. This is what he's saying. Look. And forgot his works and his wonders that he had showed them. Marvelous things did he in the sight of their fathers in the land of Egypt, in the field of Zoan. He divided the sea and caused them to pass through, and he made the waters to stand as an heap coming out of Egypt. He divided the sea, divided the Red Sea, and caused them to pass through on dry ground. I mean, just this conversation alone, we should be having. This is what he said. In verse 5, we established the testimony of Jacob and appointed a law in Israel, which he commanded our fathers, that they should make them known to their children, make the laws known to the Most High, of the Most High to our children, that the generation to come might know them, even the children which should be born, who should arise and declare them to their children, that they might set their hope in the Most High and not forget the works of the Most High, but keep his commandments. You hear this? Now you're going to start talking about the works that the Most High did. See, he's in order. King David's in order, man. Singing these. You know, these are songs. Verse 14. In the daytime also he led them with a cloud, and all the night with a light of fire. He led us in the daytime with a chariot that was like a cloud. And when that cloud moved, then we moved in the wilderness. And when it stopped, then we stopped, put up our tents. And at night, if we had to move at night, it turned into a fire for light. The chariot turned into fire round about. Y'all know what flying saucers look like. Esau showed them all in his movies. And if it moved at night, we seen that fiery chariot move at night, we pack up our tents. We was in tents, boots, and go as far as it would take us. Then when it stopped, that's where we set up our living. 40 years we did that in the wilderness. Listen. Verse 14. In the daytime also he led them with a cloud, and all the night with a light of fire. He clave the rocks in the wilderness and gave them drink as out of the great depths. Think about it. He brought streams also out of the rock and caused waters to run down like rivers. That's why Moses didn't make it to the kingdom, to the promised land, because he didn't get the most out of the glory for bringing that water out. He said he brought the water out like a river. You know, there's a lot of us. We came out 600,000 men and the women and children. So that's a lot of water had to come out to feed everybody. They got in there murmuring and complaining. And Moses, he told Moses, speak to the rock. He's going to bring forth his water out. And Moses hit the rock twice with his staff. He had said, you know, must we fetch water from this rock? That's why y'all got to understand. That's why he say Most High will. This going to happen or that's going to happen. You know, and give all praise to the glory of the Most High and stop putting them initials APTTMH, meaning all praise to the Most High. People that don't know the truth, they don't know what you're saying. You done said all this verbiage of your mind and typing everything you want to type, and then when it comes to him, you're going to put APTTMH. Yeah, you might have heard it before, you're going to hear it again. And then all praises, that's dangerous. All praises to who? You can't say all praise to the Most High. It's very important, y'all. I mean, if not, then tell me I'm wrong. Give me a breakdown to tell me I'm wrong. And you tell me that we can go before the Most High throne and tell me I'm wrong. And you can say whatever you want to say in a text, in whatever you bringing out, and then you put APTTMH. And then you say all praises. Y'all saying that. Come on, man. Psalm 76:7 again. Just in case some of you just coming in and you just catching this part and you missed that. Thou, that's the Most High. Even thou, that's the Most High, ought to be feared. I mean, you better be scared of him. You better be afraid of him. And who may stand in thy sight when once thou art angry? Can you? I know I don't want to stand before the Most High when you're angry. You ever been involved in a tornado or a hurricane? He say he coming, he's in the whirlwind. Stand. I mean, you ain't gotta run, you ain't gotta be scared. All you gotta do, you big and bad. Shoot, you ain't fear the Most High, that's him. Terrible snowstorms had people snowed in out here in California. Unbelievable. Snowed in. Can't do nothing. Thunder. They make you just sit still. Oh, y'all know you can deal with lightning, right? That's the Most High. Come on. Fire. He fire from his waist up, fire from his waist down. You know he love fire. He coming back with fire. That's him coming back with fire. You ain't gonna fear him? Look, don't wait till he visits you. Don't let nobody tell you ain't gotta follow him. Anybody saying you ain't gotta follow his laws and commandments, they trying to send you straight to hell. You're gonna be right there standing before the Most High when he's angry. Straight up. I'm just here to warn you. Look. And he dealt with Moses mouth to mouth, it said. He ain't talked to Moses in no dreams or no visions. He dealt with him mouth to mouth. Straight up. Angels say this to him. Bam, bam, bam. And he told Moses, hey, because you didn't give me the glory, well, y'all can play with it if you want to. All Moses had to say was, all praise to the Most High for bringing forth his water so you can drink, Israel. Moses said, must we fetch you water from this rock? Because Israel was getting on his nerve. Because you know y'all could be very, very annoying. He let the people get on his nerve. He said, must we? So what you think? The people thinking he talking about himself and Aaron. I'm telling y'all can take it lightly if you want to. But when your ass is burning in the lake of fire, and judgment is coming, you say, whoa, man, you did not respect me. You did not fear me. Now I'm standing before you. You standing before him. And you're going to be big and bold and bad as ever, standing before the Most High in judgment. When he bring that last judgment call, see, you better understand. That's why he's saying, look, in this chapter, it's talk about the Most High. What he did. Remember his works? So if you don't remember his works, how you going to remember his works if you never knew his works? You ain't thought about his works. All you think about is your worlds and how he got to help you. And you tell him, I was going over there and tell him this and bring back what I want. Answer my prayer. Man, y'all better understand. I'm trying to show you what works. If you can prove me wrong, I love to hear it. I'm telling you what's worked for my spirit, man. I know my computer was, I said, wow, my computer was finished. And I came up myself, I was like, I don't want to get another computer. I said, hey, help my computer work. And it wasn't working. He said, okay, whoop, 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 whoop. Do this, do that. Look here it is. Boop, I'm online again. I mean, all praise to the Most High by SHAM, MASHAYACH. It is what it is. I mean, and that might be little to you, but it's not little to me because I know that I was doing everything I could to get it happening, make it happen, to the point where I say, well, forget it. I'm about to get whatever I have on the hard drive, whatever, and take it somewhere, get it off there, and get another computer, whatever. And I set up that prayer, and I'm telling you, immediately, bam, I'm back to normal. All praise to the Most High. I have no problem saying that by SHAM, MASHAYACH. You know, and so many confessions that I have personally to know that I fear him. Because things that happened in my life, and I looked at it. I don't care if I was in the truth or not. I looked at it like, oh, Most High done jacked me. He done jacked me. Who we love, he chastises. I could think of it like that, or the Most High jacked me for something I done did that was wrong. Period. I think like that. You better fear him. See, some of y'all ain't been through enough pain and suffering yet. You Most High say, I wound and I heal. And when you've been wounded from your head to your toe, you know about some pain. Believe this. And when you suffering, you better remember, better fear the Most High, man, because he's the one that's pulling the strings as we done but puppets down here. He making the strings go this way, that way, this way, that way, whatever it is. Give him all praise to the Most High. I digress. Let's go back to verse 16. He brought streams. This is Psalm 78 chapter. He brought streams also out of the rock and caused waters to run down like rivers. And they sinned yet more against him by provoking the Most High in the wilderness. Come on. Think about this now. Just think. Because there's going to come a time that you're going to see the power of the Most High that's written in these prophecies, what he's going to do, what he said he's going to do in this earth, to get him a name that's going to last forever and ever and ever and ever. So he got him a name. We're looking at, during the time of us being in the wilderness and so forth. That's what and doing all those 10 plagues that he put on the Egyptians when we were in captivity. He put on the Egyptians to harden Pharaoh's mind so that he wouldn't let us go, right? To get him a name. Everybody gonna know, everybody knew about the Most High. That's why now, when you don't understand the philosophy of the elite that's running everything, and talking about the people that you see in front of you, they know everything is geared toward us, we the Israelites. You know why? Because we got next forever and ever and ever. Ain't nothing came out in this world as it is this great awakening to this truth. Name it. Or what book can you go to show the past, the present, and the future? You can't match nothing with the Bible when you understand what it's talking about. And you understand what he's given us in these last days to be able to bring forth to the people to wake them up, man. Got to come out of sleep, man. Y'all got spirits. And you got the spirits of those that have programmed you to be unlearned, not knowing, brain polluted. Talking about y'all brainwashed. Man, come on, y'all just reiterate all the things that you've been programmed to reiterate. And you regurgitate. I want to say regurgitate everything that they said. It's like it goes in, go right back out, just like vomit. That's what it sounds like. Eventually, it sounds like vomit, like you speaking vomit. Because where you get this from? It ain't from the scriptures. You gotta hear what he's saying. He said, this is what we're supposed to be talking about. Okay, when the judgment comes, say, hey, you ever talk about me? How much you talk about me? How much did I come out of your mouth? Besides when you said hallelujah, because I bless you with something. Next, what's your fate? Oh, I ain't got to talk about him. I'm going to tell you, listen to what it says. Okay, let's read, see if King David making sure he all right in singing these songs. Listen to what it says. Verse 17. And they sinned yet more against him by provoking the Most High in the wilderness. You think people ain't provoking the Most High right now? When all he been telling us, what do you tell the prophets? Go tell Israel, keep my commandments. Go tell Israelites, keep my law. Go tell Israelites, do what I say do. I told them in 1 John 5:3, for this is the love of me, the Most High, to keep my commandments. Commandments are not grievous. You ain't supposed to be sad to do what I say do. Make me happy. How about making him happy? Can you do that? He said, how about making me happy? Anybody think about the Most High? Really, listen. You think about all the times you talked about this. And a lot of you know about this. We just went over the Passover. You see? So, if you went over the Passover, you talked about the plagues. You should have went through them before you had the Passover. But during this time period that we just left out of, Feast of Unleavened Bread, you should have went over this. But it's telling you, okay, David's not in the wilderness, but look what he's talking about. That's why the Most High said, hey, tell your children about him. Don't forget the works of the Most High. That's what we're talking about here. But verse 17 says, and they sinned yet more against him by provoking the Most High in the wilderness. Hear that? And they tempted the Most High in their heart. And a MASHAYACH I must add, because he was there too, by asking meat for their lust. They wanted some quail, so he bought quail. Tempted the Most High in their heart, in their mind. So how you think? It don't matter about what you say. In their mind, he said, by asking meat for their lust. So where they thought, oh man, we ain't got no meat, we could have stayed in Egypt, complaining. Yeah, they spake against the Most High. And a MASHAYACH, he's that angel of the Most High, that spirit of the Most High. They said, can the Most High furnish a table in the wilderness? Hear that? Can you imagine that? Y'all can understand this. All those plagues, 10 plagues that the Most High put upon the Egyptians, and nothing touched us. Nothing happened to us, but we seeing what's happening with them. And nothing touched us. Yeah. This is what it said. They wanted meat for their lust. And so the Most High gave us quail. And the Most High sit there and watch. And that's why I say some of you that's large, you better start looking at your diet and what you got to eat. Because famine is in the earth right now. Biden said it, gonna be famine. That's a food shortage. So if you desire to eat a whole lot, to be full, you gotta have, they got you programmed to eat. I mean, it's just about money. You gotta eat breakfast and lunch and dinner and snacks and all that stuff. You gotta eat all through the day. Man, you're gonna be in bad shape when there's a famine. Ain't nothing to eat. So the Most High, he bought quails. Filled the whole land. You couldn't even see no ground. And we just eating quail. You know, quail a little bird. He took the one that I liked to eat the most, the fattest, and he killed him. He killed him. Because, you know, they probably the main ones complaining. Because they hungry. They got to fulfill that lust that they had. That's why I say it's lust. Meat for their lust, their desires. He killed them. The one that ate the most, that need the most, he killed them. Yeah, they spake against the Most High. Why YAHAWASHI? They said, can the Most High furnish a table in the wilderness? Can the Most High feed us in the wilderness? Letting you know that they ain't believe in the Most High. Just like some of you don't believe in them. You can say whatever, but you don't believe in them. Or you be really trying to find out what you need to do to please him. How you gonna make him smile? You ever thought about that? That ever came across your mind? How can I make the Most High smile and laugh at me and be happy with me? That ever came across your mind? What can I do that will please him besides just a robot and saying, a robot T saying, like you hear me say, you gotta fear the Most High and repent and keep his commandments and cry to the Most High. You can repeat that because you've heard it over and over and over again, but you really don't understand what it is for you and what it means to you and operating in this. You listen to what he's saying. Yeah, they spake against the Most High. They said, can the Most High furnish a table in the wilderness? So now, here you are worrying. So your worry, W-O-R-R-Y, every time you worry, it cancels out your faith in him. Because you got faith in him, then you ain't, that worrying is doubting. What's the point of praying if you doubt that you're going to get whatever you pray for? Make that make sense? I believe in the Most High. But I don't believe that I'm going to get what I ask for because of your own personal Most High that you created yourself. You, your Most High. You, your own Most High. Because you worry, that cancels out faith. It really does. Yeah, they spake against the Most High. They said, can the Most High furnish a table in the wilderness? Can he bring a table of food? Can he bring some food in the wilderness? Complaining, we should stay back in Egypt. Moses and Aaron. Moses and Aaron so scared, they feel that, man, they crying to the Most High and said, hey, man, they're going to kill me. They're going to kill us. They're going to kill me. If you don't do something, you know these people who you gave me to, put me in charge of. Moses came with his excuse when Moses High said, hey, you're going to lead them out of Egypt. Moses said, nah, I studied. They're not going to listen to me. Moses said, okay, I got something for you. Like he got something for every last one of us. I don't care what kind of excuse you come. I got a lesson on excuses. He said, okay, well, you stuttered. Okay, well, Aaron going to be your mouthpiece. I'm going to let Aaron speak for you, but I'm still dealing with you. So he dealt with Moses. He didn't care about him stuttering or whatever. Still dealt with getting his point across through Aaron. Listen, verse 20. Behold, he smote the rock. He smote the rock that the waters gushed out and the streams overflowed. Can he give bread also? Look, we thirsty. Look, you in the wilderness. You ain't got no food. You ain't got no water. All you doing is moving. Got your tent, you moving. Complaining, murmuring, complaining and murmuring over and over again. You're thirsty. He gave you enough water to swim in and whatever you want to do. For however long it takes. You see, it said he gave us enough water that came out of that rock like a river. Come on now. Come on now. Now, here comes another complaint. See, I can see why the Most High, looking at this, why the Most High is having us go over this and remember him through this, but we're remembering the attitude of we as the Israelites too. Listen what it said. Yeah. Behold, he smote the rock, when you're supposed to speak to the rock, that the waters gushed out and the streams overflowed. A lot of water. He said, can he give bread also? Look, can he give bread also? That's what we're saying. Before all this happened, don't forget, Psalm 76 and 7. Thou, this is the Most High. Even thou, this is the Most High. Creator of all, Heavenly Father, art to be feared. And who may stand in thy sight when once thou art angry? Keep that in mind. Look what we did and what people are doing now. Look. Verse 20 again. We in Psalm 78 chapter. Behold, he smote the rock that the waters gushed out and the streams overflowed. Can he bring bread also? He did that, huh? Okay. You filled yourself with water. You got containers of water. You got to worry about no water no more, right? Since you're worrying about everything else, murmuring about everything. Can he bring some bread also? Can he provide flesh for his people? I got to say it like it's, you know how we are. Stiff-necked and hard-headed, hard-hearted, rebellious. Therefore the Most High heard this. And the MASHAYACH heard this as the angel of the Most High, the Spirit of the Most High, and was wroth. Remember what it said? Hey, Psalm 76 and 7. Thou, even thou, art to be feared. And who may stand in thy sight when once thou art angry? Better hear this. Who won't stand in the Most High's sight when once the Most High is angry? You? I know I don't want to stand in his sight when he's angry. I done told you, but I know I recognize him wounded. I recognize him hurting. I recognize his pain and suffering. And who he loves, he gonna chasten. Believe this. complaining. You got all this water. Can he bring bread? Can he provide flesh for his people? Verse 21. Therefore the Most High heard this and was wroth. So a fire was kindled against Jacob, and anger also came up against Israel. So you better watch what you're doing. I mean, this is straight up learning as a child again. This is learning as a child again. That's why he calls us the children of Israel. Because we've been destroyed for lack of knowledge. Y'all been reading the Bible. If you do read the Bible, you ain't read it to the extent that you look at it as talking to you, about you. The only way you're going to really get to understand it, you say, Dad, that's me. We the children of Israel. Look. Verse 21. Therefore the Most High heard this and was wroth. So a fire was kindled against Jacob, and anger also came up against Israel, because they believed not in the Most High, and trusted not in his salvation. Trusted not in YAHAWASHI's salvation. Telling them what time it is. Leading them in a cloud by day. In a fiery chariot at night. Talking to Moses. Though he had commanded the clouds from above and opened the doors of heaven, and had rained down manna unto them to eat, and had given them of the corn of heaven. Man did eat angels' food. He sent them meat to the full, like I said. He made sure he was over full, and he killed the fattest ones, y'all, to the full. He caused an east wind to blow in the heaven, and by his power he brought in the south wind. He rained flesh also upon them as dust, quails, and feathered fowls like as the sand of the sea. Like I said, with so many quails, it just filled, the whole ground was filled with nothing but quails. We're seeing all this. We are observing this. And you see them still complaining. Man, you better understand. And he let it fall in the midst of their camp, round about their habitations. So did they eat and were well filled. For he gave them their own desire. This is what we're supposed to be teaching our children. And we're supposed to be learning it so we can talk about it. They were not estranged from his lust. From their lust, Salakia. They were not estranged from their lust. But while their meat was yet in their mouths. Listen at this closely. Y'all might think I don't know what I'm talking about. They were not estranged from their lust. I'm talking about they wanted, bread, they wanted flesh, so we gave them quails. Like I say, so many quails and quail is about this big, y'all. The quail is not that big, about this big, about that big around. So can you imagine how many quails it was? I don't know, it probably could have been bigger back then, because we were bigger, larger in size. But I don't know, the ones I see now that I eat now, they're very small. Listen to what it says. So they did eat, verse 29, and were well filled, for he gave them their own desire, as much as they could eat. Listen, they were not estranged from their lust, but while their meat, while their quail, was yet in their mouths, the wrath of the Most High came upon them and slew the fattest of them. See, there it is. See, that's what I'm telling y'all. Y'all better be looking out for your size and stuff. I don't care if you size or not, but you got to look out how much you gonna ingest into your system, because hey, they got some new things, man, that they're doing with the food. to hit us up. RNA technology, man. For all this, they sin still. Listen, wait a minute. The wrath of the Most High came upon them and slew the fattest of them. You hear that? The ones that was the largest. That was probably complaining the most because they probably was the hungriest because their stomach is big. They got to make sure they fill up that gut. No offense, it's just real. Psalms 78 and 31. The wrath of the Most High came upon them and slew the fattest of them and smote down the chosen men of Israel. Hear that? Care nothing about your rank or who you think you are, man. Most I don't care nothing about that. He was said, smote down the chosen men of Israel. Killed them. When we say smoke, that means he killed them. Took them out. For all this, they sin still. Okay, now, you done heard all this murmuring. They might have been part of the murmuring. You heard all this, and then now you see death. You know, I did a lesson on death got the attention of the Israelites. Look that up. I started out with something of this nature going here, then next thing you know, it just went into a whole lesson. Death got our attention. Death gonna get our attention. Verse 31 again, the wrath of the Most High came upon them and slew the fattest of them and smote down the chosen men of Israel. For all this they sin still. Sin! This ain't no one or two people. You see these men dying. Come on, show you, man, thousands. You're going to see a whole lot of us died in the wilderness. He killed everybody that was grown. We trying to make it to the kingdom again. For the last time, y'all. He killed everybody that was grown with Joshua and Caleb. And you ain't going to fear him? He killed everybody with Joshua and Caleb. And brought the children that we had in the wilderness for 40 years. He let us roam around the wilderness for 40 years. Till everybody died. Except for Joshua and Caleb. You hear? I'm telling you, Moses was above every man. He was the meekest man in the whole world. He didn't make it. Just think about it. How do you think the Most High feel? Y'all talking about APTTMH. And all praises. And you ain't gonna give the Most High the praise? His name is jealous, y'all. That's why I say people don't know that you don't really know the Most High. If you ain't fearing him, you ain't scared of him. Don't let him visit you. But he will show up. He got some spirits that are made for vengeance for him. You know, I mean, I know some of y'all probably don't like that, you know, but I grew up with hellfire preaching. And you go to church and you come out, you be scared. But you scared of the Most High. But see, they changed that where I'm from. Billy Graham and Rex Humbard, they started that prosperity preaching. That's what you see now. Prosperity preaching. Pass the plate. Will a man rob God? And they put on a show for you and you just give all your money up. And you don't know nothing. As you ought to know. When you open up this Bible, y'all carry a Bible to church, but you don't really open it up and don't really know what it's talking about. You don't even know the nations that's named in the Bible. You don't see all these nations that you see now in the Bible, the names that they have, but they got biblical names. They come within the realm of SHAM, HAM, and Japheth, for that matter. All these different nations that's on this earth are in the Bible. But see, if you got a Discovery Channel, you got the History Channel, and you always trying to discover something, trying to find this out and find that out, because, like, if you'd have took the time to drain our brain of the knowledge that we had before just destroying us, not even understanding all the things that the Most High is bringing back to us now because of the fact of you want to make everybody look like you. Everything came from you, and that's a lie. That's why you still got to be trying to discover things when we already knew so much. Because we were here for thousands of years when you wasn't here. So now, here we are now, looking at what you bringing out and thinking that this is where it is. When it's contrary to what it is that our story that's not validated with his story, because it's got to be opposite of our story to make his story be superior or white supremacy over our story, and simply understanding what he's saying here. Because they wasn't here. It was us, the Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel in the wilderness. All this, he started killing them, the fattest ones. They got quail everywhere. Oh man, let's go. Give me some more of that quail. Give me some more of that quail. Yum, 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 yum. Eat, yum, yum. Eat them up. Yum, 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 yum. Eat, 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 eat. Finished. God. Killed them. I mean, 1 Corinthians 1:22 said the Jews require a sign. So death is a sign. When you bring death, that makes people think, oh, he ain't finished yet. I mean, it's just like a woman in travail. Like a woman having them contractions in our time. You see these things happening back to back to back to back. I don't care what they do. They cannot stop what the Most High says is going to happen. All these calamities, all these plagues that he's going to bring on this earth going to happen back to back to back, closer and closer and closer together when they happen. A day happened. Bam, here it is. It might be a couple of days later, bam, something else happened. A week it's been. I mean, come on, man. I remember growing up, you wouldn't hear nothing like happening now. Mass shootings and all that stuff. You didn't see all that stuff, man. Look how close they happening now. Just like a woman in travail, a woman having a baby. They're not far apart. They're real close together. They're happening back to back to back. Come on. Look, for all this they sin still. Psalm 78:32. And believe not for his wondrous works. Hear that? That's why you better be talking about the Most High's wondrous works. You better get the Most High in your vocabulary. Tell you that. Therefore their days did he consume in vanity. Hear that? In their years in trouble. You better understand. You can read it frontwards, you can read it backwards. Therefore their days did he consume in vanity. Whatever they was, every day they lived was about nothing to the Most High. In their years in trouble. 40 years of trouble. When he slew them, when he killed us, as the Israelites,